day, Binibini fans!
Good afternoon, Binibining Pilipinas fans. I am Patch Magtanong, your Binibining Pilipinas International 2019, and I am very happy to welcome all of you as we officially open the Binibining Pilipinas season. And I'm so excited, I'm so happy to see you guys hearing that Binibining Pilipinas song. Grabe, nakakamiss and nakaka-excite for what's to come. And just like all of you, I'm so excited with the country's most prestigious beauty pageant, and we're back. So Binibining Pilipinas this year, the candidates will return to finish what they started last year. Pero I know you're excited, relax muna kayo, you will see them in the coming weeks. But for now, we are starting the resumption of the pageant with the highly anticipated Binibining Pilipinas national costumes. I know you've already seen them online since December last year. I know we're all excited. And ang gaganda ng national costumes. And they really drummed up the excitement. So today we have a great live for you. We're gonna talk more about the national costumes with our special guests later. Kaya abangan. So now, as a little sneak peek, earlier today, Binibining Pilipinas opened its traditional photo exhibit featuring the candidates in their magnificent outfits. So you can see in your screen now, we are going to show you live in Gateway Mall where the photos are displayed. Ayan, so we will be displaying this video for you guys to see a little sneak peek of what to expect in the exhibit. And you can also see na we have safety protocols in place. So we don't have that many people. We're limiting the media, but you guys are free to visit anytime. This is an opportunity for the public to have a better and closer look of the marvelous costumes. So to give you a sneak peek of this exhibit, check out this video. Ayan, so here is a live video of Gateway Mall. Kanina, we were there, and the national costume photos are displayed. The photos are done by none other than Sir Raymond Saldana, and you can go visit it anytime. It's in Gateway Mall right now until January 31, and then it's in Ali Mall from Feb 1 to Feb 14, if I'm not mistaken. So, ayan, makikita natin live. So we will be flashing this video all throughout the live para we get a little sneak peek. So again, this is an opportunity for the public to have a better and closer look of the costumes. And we have a video prepared for you as a sneak peek, so watch this.
Welcome to the Binibining Pilipinas National Costume Photo Exhibit. After the postponement of last year's pageant due to the pandemic, the much-awaited beauty surge, not just in the country, but in the whole world is back. And this officially opens the Binibining Pilipinas season. And today, we are officially resuming our pageant activities with the unveiling of our traditional Binibining Pilipinas National Costume Photo Exhibit. This starts here at the Gateway Mall today until January 31 and will be at the Ali Mall from February 1 to 14. Joining us today to do the honors of opening the exhibit are she is Binibining Pilipinas International 2019, the lovely attorney Patch Magtanong. And he is a well-known fashion director and a BPCI Executive Committee member. Please welcome Direk Raymond Villanueva. She is the OIC of Uniprom Inc., the entertainment arm of the Araneta Group. Please welcome Miss Irene Jose.
Hi guys! I'm here at the Gateway Mall today for the opening of this year's Binibining Pilipinas National Costume Photo Exhibit. This exhibit is a product of the lens of veteran pageant photographer Raymond Saldana in a photo session that took place last year before the COVID lockdown. As you can see, only a limited number of people are here today for the unveiling for safety purposes. But we are inviting all Binibini fans and supporters to check out this exhibit today until January 31 here at the Gateway Mall and from February 1 to 14 at the Alley Mall. See you all here. Let me give you a quick tour. Mrs. Stella Marquez Araneta's message to all Binibini fans. Good day to all our supporters and followers. I am happy to announce that the Binibining Pilipinas Charities Incorporated is all set to continue with the pageant this year. We officially opened the Binibining Pilipinas season with the launch of the National Costume Photo Exhibit in Araneta City. Through this, we aim to celebrate our colorful culture and our talented local designers. Our tradition of identifying and crowning our new queens will be done in a new normal and safe setting. We share your excitement as we see the candidates in action again, and we look forward to your continuous support. Thank you.
Binibining Pilipinas would like to thank our sponsors: Araneta City, the city of firsts; World Balance, the official active lifestyle footwear; Jag Jeans, Manhattan Garden City by Mega World Corporation; Ever Balana Cosmetics; Petron, Kasabay sa Lakbay; Pizza Hut, Dairy Queen, and Taco Bell. And we also would like to thank our service sponsors: Manila Bulletin, Novotel, Manila, Araneta City, Dale Carnegie, Raymond Saldana Photography, Jojo Bragay Shoes, Gold's Gym, Equinox Manila, Dom's Ramos Swimwear, Picture City, and Bruce Casanova Photography. And would like to invite you to visit and enjoy the exhibit. Again, this is open to the public starting today until January 31 here at the Gateway Mall and from February 1 to 14 at the Alley Mall. Also, don't miss our live Facebook presentation on these national costumes together with Patch and some special guests. Thank you very much and see you all in our next Binibining Pilipinas activities happening this year.
Ayan. So again, that was officially the resumption of the Binibining Pilipinas activities. And as you saw from the video, I already had a chance to look at the costumes. But today, we will be talking more about the national costumes. And I'm happy to say that I'm being joined by some people who are very familiar with this topic. So let's welcome our guests. First, we have, of course, none other than Binibining Pilipinas Intercontinental 2019 and the winner of the Best in National Costume last year during my batch, my fellow Binibini sister, Emma Tiglao. Hi, Emma. How are you? Emma, nakamute ka.
Hindi, tinitignan ko lang kung alert ka, batch.
I think, did I pass your test? Miss you, Emma. Ang ganda naman ng lighting mo. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Binato mo sa akin. I'm okay, Emma. Ikaw?
Okay naman. Nakaka-excite na Binibini is back. Diba?
I know, diba? When I heard the song, the Binibini song, parang I got chills eh. Ang tagal na nating hindi naririnig eh.
Kaya nga eh.
Okay, so I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts later, Emma. Now we'll welcome our next special guest for today, veteran entertainment and pageant writer Voltaire Tayag from Rappler.
Hi, Patch. How are you?
Hi, Voltaire. Hi, how are you
today?
today?
You sound old. No, but you're absolutely right. When I heard the song playing, it was giving me life. Like every time I'm there, it just makes me smile. And I'm so glad that Binibini is back. And it's been like a year exactly since all of this started, and it feels like it was just a dream that like now we've awoken from that. And I'm also very glad to be a part of this because the national costume is one of my favorite parts of the competition. And this is the one where like the candidates and the designers spend so much more time on doing these, and for them to be recognized also for their hard work, their patience and their creativity and artistry is an amazing thing.
Exactly. This event, National Costume, is so much about the designers as much as they're about the girls, because it's really the designers who worked hard for producing such a costume. I can't wait to hear about your thoughts later, Voltaire. Now we move on to our last very special guest, also an expert in pageantry. We have pageant blogger Jason Cappuccino from Sashes and Scripts. Hi, Mr. Jason.
How are you? Finally, we're starting the Binibining Pilipinas season again, and it's not. I believe it's not just me and Voltaire or the queens, but the fans are very, very excited as well. So it's good to be back at the game where we left off last year, and it's nice. It's nice to finally open this pageant season with the national costumes.
Yes, and for our first event, we have a very special set of guests ranging from the winner of Best in National Costume to our pageant experts. Kaya we are going to have a very great live today. I'm so excited to get started. So simulan na natin. First off, what are your general thoughts about this year's batch of Binibining Pilipinas National Costumes? Let's start with Emma.
Sobrang hirap ngayon kasi lahat nag-effort and we saw it eh. We saw it in personal, di ba, batch, nung nag-shoot tayo. So doon pa lang makikita mo na yung details and all. Ito kasi photo, so makikita mo lang siya. Nung nakita natin, doon pa natin mas na-appreciate. What more pa pag nairampa na nila to, di ba? So yun lang, I salute all the designers, all the candidates. Pinag-isipan talaga nila lahat. Grabe.
Exactly. You're so right, Emma, kasi sometimes you don't appreciate the national costume unless you really see the intricacies up close. Eh. So, again, yes, exactly. So, again, I'm plugging our exhibit in Gateway Mall right now. You can check out the photos. They're blown up full size, and you can see the details. Okay, next we'll go to Voltaire.
Well, as you said, because I'm a veteran, I've seen the progression of the national costumes from way back. Back then, kasi the costumes, parang the designer would pick a gown, tapos lalagyan ng butterfly sleeve, or lalagyan ng parang panuelo or something, and then they call it a costume already. But these days, in the past few years, especially this year, the costumes have really like risen up, and the creativity is off the charts. And if you look at each and every one of them, you know that it's not something that was done overnight. There were a lot of thought, a lot of love, and care was put into every single one. So one of the things that I learned also is because, like back then when I wasn't writing, you can be a little bit harsh when you're commenting or critiquing something. But when you've actually met the people, you've met the designers, you've met the candidates, you know that all of this is out of love. So I invite all the fans to really just appreciate the love, the labor of love that's been put into all of this. And I think through that, we can really celebrate each and every one of them.
Thank you so much, Voltaire. That's so very well said. And we really appreciate that, especially Emma and I and all the girls, because people sometimes forget that we're also working very, very hard. So thank you so much. More than our mentor and a veteran entertainment and pageant writer, Voltaire is also our friend. So thank you so much. And then lastly, we go to Sir Jason.
Well, there are three things actually that stood out for me in the national costumes this year. First one is the variety. Thanks to the designers, there is a wealth of culture. There's a wealth of heritage. There's a wealth of backstory that is incorporated in each national costume. So bawat kasuotan may kwento, may pinanggagalingan. And another thing is, I have to point out the superb set design and photography by Sir Raymond Saldana and Henry Reyes, because what they did with the photography and the set design this year is that it created an atmosphere of mystery, that it does not reveal the entirety of the costume and would leave fans wanting more when they see the costume up close in person when the national costume show is being held, right? And the third one is I'm very grateful with Binibining Pilipinas this year for individually posting these national costumes in their social media, because it allows an opportunity for fashion designers to be known, to be heard, to get to know their work, and it also allows pageant fans to get to know the history and the story behind each costume. And isa kasi sa mga nagpapagaan ng loob, or one of the things that makes us appreciate the national costumes more is when you understand the story behind it, when you understand the background, the backstory, like the national costume of Emma last year, which is made by inmates, right? And then it is those kinds of story na nakakaantig ng puso, and it allows fans to get not only to get to know the girl behind the costume, but to understand the culture behind it. And it's very apt because the hashtag of Binibini is I am Filipina, I am Binibini, and it throws back to that appreciation of culture and heritage.
Thank you, Sir Justin. You're absolutely right. Every year, parang the national costumes just get more and more meaningful and more culturally significant. And it also tells a story. And I hope in the future we get to see more of these national costumes. But for now, we have an opportunity to talk about all the individual costumes per candidate. And I believe that you guys are assigned to talk about a candidate each. So let's start with Binibini 1, Samantha Alexandra Panlilio. I think Emma will have something to say.
To be candidate number 1, you need to be powerful para mapansin ka, kasi you're the start. Ikaw magsa-start ng program, ikaw magsa-start ng pinaka main program ng pageant. And to start the national competition with this powerful costume, parang I salute Samantha Padillo. Kasi imagine yung kanyang costume, it is inspired with the 13 martyrs who led the PH Revolution. And the fabric, it's a local Filipino fabric. Talagang nandun yung culture ng pagka-Filipino. And dito sa costume, by looking at it, makikita mo dalawa lang eh. It's woman and power. Pag nakita mo siya, very queenly. Yung pagka-woman niya, it's very empowered woman. And then next is power. Kung makikita niyo yung belt niya, di ba metal siya? Parang makikita mo na nandun yung victory eh. So, grabe. I salute this national costume of Samantha Panilio.
Okay, so next we move on to Binibini 3, Lois and Badando.
Yes, well, for Binibini 3, this costume was by Ryan, June, Mariano Castillo, and they call it Kolibangbang, which means butterfly. It looks very authentic, and this is one of the things, you can go either fantasy, you can go showgirl, you can go traditional, you can go wearable, but this one, I love seeing these costumes that look very authentic. This one is inspired by from a photo in the 1900s of the Gadang tribe, of a woman that was wearing it, and napag-google ako, sino yung Gadang tribe, because I wanted to know more about it, and the tribeswomen back then were actually allowed to own property. And that's very important to know, because knowing that tribe allows the women to own property and to own land means that they were really given power, and then they were empowered women even back then. This is such a beautiful, colorful costume. And what I love about it is that it also highlights her beauty because it frames the face. And at the same time, what I also really appreciate is the way she holds that gong, na para siya handbag. That makes it look very modern and a little bit more fun rather than a very traditional pose. You're muted,
Oops, sorry. Okay, so next, thank you, Voltaire. Next, we have Binibini 4, Patricia Garcia.
Well, what I love about this Chico Estiva creation, which is inspired by the Santo Niño de Tondo, is that it is very rich visually. So wala kang makikitang elemento ng costume itself na hindi akma doon sa pinanggagalingang inspirasyon. And if there is only one nitpicking item that I had to say about the costume is that there's too much accessories. I believe Patricia is one of the most facially stunning girls in this batch. So maybe remove the choker, because the headpiece and the earrings and the scepter is more than enough accessory for her to stand out in this costume. Kasi maganda na yung pagkakagawa, yung visual impact ng kanyang Santo Niño costume, and the choker for me is a little bit too much because it removes the focus away from her face. Other than that, I think this one is perfectly done. The photography, the way she languidly leans back to showcase the costume, it was very, very nicely and perfectly executed.
Thank you, Sir Justin. To our guests, I'd like to remind you lang, you can interject and you can offer your own opinions, even if someone else discusses the costume first, moving forward. So just let me know, please. Okay, next, we move on to Binibini 5, Arian Desiree Villardo.
My fellow kabalin. So, this one was made by Santino Rivera, and it's a parol-inspired gown. Ang galing lang ng concept kasi pag inisip natin na parol, actually ako dun sa costume ko nung una, naisip ko parol kasi saan ba doon ang Kapampangan? It's the Christmas capital of the Philippines, di ba? But it's really hard pag sinundan mo yung parol with Catriona, tapos this one, parang kailangan pag-isipan mo. And this one talagang pinag-isipan kasi yung parol na gawa niya, it's not about the headdress, it's not about yung the backdress nasa gown niya itself, and to incorporate it in a Filipiniana gown, parang ang galing lang. And also, one thing, yung sinabi kanina na ang galing dun sa element of surprise dun sa photography ni Sir Raymond. I am excited kung ano pang meron dun sa baba. Kasi I cannot see the color pa kung ano yung color ng parol eh. So I am excited kung mag-iilaw ba yan or what. So ayun na.
Thank you, Emma. Next, we move on to Binibini 6, Princess Guanzon.
Now, Princess Guanzon is wearing a Ranel Espaldon creation. At first glance, if I take out all of those accessories on her, it looks like it can be a gown that can be worn at an event. And you know, like when I look at national costumes, I give the designers that creative license to go in a direction where they feel can add a little bit more life, or you know, to update the look. What I love about this is I'm pretty sure that in person this will be very fluid and flowy, and this is inspired by like the visual art of the Mangyan tribe, and it's called pakudos. It symbolizes their culture, their tradition, and their livelihood. Now, I only wonder if yung mga baskets na yan, dala-dala ba niya yan because ang daming excess baggage niyan. But I really love how they even add the props. When a prop is added, a proper one, then it makes it even more exciting. So this one is great.
Next, we have Binibini 7, Shannon Tampon.
Well, this national costume is created by Armand Marco, and it's inspired by the Latambini ng Himagsikan. And what is so great about this national costume is, if you look at all the national costumes on exhibit this year, this is the only one that is modernized, and that is one that loudly speaks of women empowerment. And whether it's physicality, it's being sexy, it's being aggressive, it is and it's everything that makes what I believe a modern warrior. And the costume itself is not afraid to be sexy, and I like that aspect of the costume, because nowadays I think it's about time that women take ownership of their femininity and their sexuality, and this costume gives me that in tons. And if there's one thing that I would want for the designer and for Shannon Binibini 7 to do, is to remove probably the feather extension on the cuff of the costume, because I believe it might not give her more area to move, because for presentation purposes, I think she needs to wield and brandish that polo during the fashion show, and I think the feather extension would only hinder her from doing that. But other than that, I think the costume itself, it's very visually impactful.
Can I add, Patch?
Sure, Voltaire.
Justin brings up a very good point, because one of the things that I hope that the designers can also take into consideration is the logistics and the choreography of the way that they're going to present it. Because, like, it can look beautiful in a photo, but when you're carrying all those things that you're backstage, you're going from one place to another, you sometimes even have dance steps, or you have to go from the front to the back, and then you have other girls with big wings next to you. Maneuvering through the stage can be quite tricky. At the same time, I think the point here is about editing. Sometimes you just have to edit just a little bit more, just to make it even a stronger impact.
Yes, and aside from that, I remember when back in 2018, when Catriona Grace mentor Kaloy Buendia, we were talking about her national costume, and I said to him that pagsayawin mo si Catriona sa stage. That's why ibinaba niya yung payong niya, and then she did the arm movement for the end of at the end of the runway of the stage. And it's important din kasi na you give ode, or you pay homage to the culture that you're representing in your national costume, whether it's through dance, or through movement. So it's important that you take into consideration din yung paano siya mag-walk on stage kasi again with so much costumes that are huge and you might have difficulty maneuvering on stage if it's too big or too cumbersome or too heavy.
Thank you so much to our pageant experts. We're learning a lot, and I think the girls are learning a lot as well. So now we move on. Up next is Binibini 8 Meiji Cruise.
Meiji Cruise, this was made by Manny Halasan. Pag nakita mo siya, it's like very classic. It's simple, but it has a lot of story to tell. And sabi niya, the wings was made or was inspired by the dragonfly, which means new beginning. So I'm excited if ibubuka ba niya yan or what, and kung ano bang meron dun sa back niya. Kasi looking at the front detail, it's very classic. I don't know kung anong inspired yung sa back detail. And one more thing, yung sa headdress niya, I think yung dito sa may forehead part, medyo natatakpan. So I hope kapag ni-wrap niya yan, it's very comfortable to wear and comfortable to wrap. Kasi sayang naman din yung face. Sabi nga po nila, when you wrap your national costume, dapat the people can see that you're comfortable enough wearing it so that they will see na talagang kaya-kaya mo siyang dalhin.
So up next, we have Binibini 9 Patricia Babista.
Now, Pat Babista, her costume is by DJ Abustan, and you know the Quezon province is not a stranger to these magnificent costumes made of indigenous materials like coconuts or like the coconut shell. In fact, their festivals, the Neo Yogan and the Pahiyas festivals are very popular. In fact, one of the queens, Atisa Manalo, was a former Binibining Yogan, and you know, at first when I looked at it from afar, I thought the inspiration was sapin-sapin, and then until I read about it, and then closer inspection, I noticed that there's like all these little layers of fabric, which was something that Valentino did a few years back, and it's these little things that you have to pay attention. Now, the lower part of the skirt is actually inspired by the wait, I'm trying to see the name, aranya, which I guess is a chandelier or like a lighting fixture. So when you go to Quezon, you'd have all of these things hanging. And so aside from appreciating these visually, well, what I've learned to Google a little bit more to find out and to educate myself on where these things originate from. So that alone, combining all of them beautifully like this, makes for a great costume. The only thing that I like to point out is proportions, because Pat Babista is such a beautiful, petite girl, and like I can only see a small part of her face. Like it's not as highlighted as I would want it to be, but I'm sure in person this will move beautifully.
And last but not least for this batch, we have Binibini 10 Shaira Marie Rona.
Well, this costume is actually inspired by two things. It's the couple, the Manda and Luyong, and the Lavanderos Festival of Mandaluyong. And what I like about this is that it's not too big, but it has impact. And when you're thinking about a costume about a labandero, labandera, you kind of think that it might go kitschy, it might go campy. And this one kind of makes that, makes it different. The execution it's just perfect because it allows the designer to play into the different aspects of the Mandaluyong tale. The luyong or the anhaw piece on their head, and the palo and the batia as a shield. It all comes together in a nicely, tightly, well done package. And this costume tells us that you don't have to have a huge costume for it to work, for it to be splendid, for it to be marvelous. Sometimes It is the simple but very meaningful and rich story behind the costume that makes it work. And this is what I get with this costume. It's perfect. It's not too big. It's not too it's not too cumbersome to wear. And I believe that the presentation later for Binibini 10, she can do a lot of things because she can move with this costume, and that's important.
Okay, that is it for our first batch. We have 3 more batches to go. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your wonderful insights. I'm really learning a lot. I think this is the first time we had the chance to do this in Binibining Pilipinas. And there's so much more to the national costumes than what we can see. So we really appreciate your insight, guys. Please don't go yet. We still have 30 girls. And for now, let's first take a quick break as we show our viewers some never-before-seen highlights of our candidates' adventure with Operation Smile last year. So let's watch this.